Live stream was waiting for me. There you go. Sorry about that. Okay, today is in Australia the 24th of September 2017, Eastern Australian Standard Time. Now, next week we will have daylight savings. Now, I will release a video a little bit after this show has gone to air, and it will be telling people, you know, we're going to be on 1 hour earlier for most of the people around the world. There's some people will, it may be slightly different in as much as in Australia, not all of Australia has daylight savings, so some people will have it come earlier, some people won't. It's just crazy. I explain it all in the video. I read out all the different times for the major areas that the show's streamed in. All right, what are we going to do this week? I've put a couple of things there saying what's going to be happening. But the first thing is, I have done LED lighting in one end of the shop here. And do you notice any flicker behind me at all? Something to look out for. Now, it's nothing to do with the LED lighting. And I'm going to show you why, because I still got flicker with the LED lighting. And let me see if you can have a look at this. Here we go. Now, this is, I've got the LED light sitting on the bench waiting to go, and I thought I'll come in close with the phone camera and see I've got a heap of flicker. And I was going, oh my goodness, what have I done? You know, I bought all these LED lights trying to avoid flicker, but I'm getting flicker like crazy. But I got rid of it. I got rid of it, and I'm going to show you how. So I think that's up. Oh no, going over to these other couple over here. It's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, isn't it? Bit of a cough. And I think that'll bring me back to the beginning of the video. Now you notice there was flicker more across the light than if I turned the camera orientation the other way and went down the light. That was an interesting thing. But I've managed to get rid of the flicker, and it wasn't anything to do with the lighting, the fluoros, or this. I set the frame rate to be correct to the country's power supply. So 50 Hertz in Australia, which meant 25 frames per second. And there's no mess up, no flicker. In the States, you guys are on, I think you're on 60 Hertz, so hence that's why your frame rate is 30 frames a second, which is favored. So there we go. I'm going to have a bit of a look through here and say good day to everyone. Carl, greetings from Northern Kentucky. Hope all is well with you. Yes, everything is fine except for it was cooking hot here yesterday. 34 degrees we got to, and blowing a gale, very, very windy. The fire season starts on the 1st of October, and we've already had 900 bushfires in New South Wales this season so far, which has never been heard of. Well, not while we've been here anyway. So there we go, the media hype is all there, people are panicking, and oh, the fire season, well, main thing is to keep a level head. Get a fire plan worked out. Vicky and I have decided if a fire comes, we're not going to risk it. We'll grab the dog, get in the car, go. That's all there is to it. Okay, so here we go. Jay Parra, good evening from Northern California. Good evening, Jay Parra. Mark Bongers, morning, Dave. Good morning, Leslie Wilson. G'day, Dave. Andrew Wright, morning, Dave, from windy old Adelaide. Constructive criticism. Yeah, you got it, Dave. No more flicker. LED are expensive, but so efficient. I'm using half the power. And that's something that, as I'm getting older, I don't want to have large bills. I'm not on the same kind of money as I was when I was younger and on the tools. So I need to be a little bit smart and canny and think out what's going to happen in the future. The fittings are expensive. They're about $60 each, Australian, but I'm investing long term. I should get about 25,000 hours out of each fitting, and they are pulling 40 watts instead of 72 watts, which is what the fluorescents were. And they're a low profile fitting as well. Quite nice. And the light's not bad. What do you think the light's okay? Okay, Andrew Pugh, hi. And again, I've touched that bloody mouse and it's gone crazy down. Here we go. Okay, constructive criticism diffuser. they are diffused. I will show you the pictures of the tubes in a minute. But when I did that quick walk around, you saw that video showing on the different things. There's a flat panel with a diffuser, and then the LEDs are in behind there. And the light is so even. Thanks to John Lafferty for putting me onto those. Steve McQuillan, good evening from Florida, Dave. Good evening, Steve. Pardon me, Patrick Moher, Dave from Tipperary in Ireland. Looking forward to seeing the show again. I've been live, been a while, yes. So next week, it will be 1 hour earlier for you guys. And then in another, end of October, beginning of November, I think most of the Northern Hemisphere will come off daylight savings, which will bring me forward another hour. So in the UK, it'll be starting to stream at midnight. And as I say, I'll go through all that, watch that little video that I'll release after this one's done. Okay, and constructive criticism. Camera, yes. Bob Macca, morning, Dave, but a bit warm and windy. G'day from inside of the garage. G'day, Bob. How are you, buddy? Michael, Christopher's morning, everyone from Adelaide, South Australia. What's the weather like down there, Michael? I believe it's a little windy. James West, Productions. Hey, David, how are you? And Barry the Pug. Barry is fine. He had a bath yesterday, another bath. I put a comment on Facebook to let everyone know that he still enjoys it, but he's not as active in the bath. He just sits there and says, all right, wash me. He hadn't had a bath for about 3 months. He was starting to stink. Okay, entry required. Hello from Sweden. Paul, 3 a.m. with wife Maria. Hello, Maria, and hello, Paul. How are you? Mark Weedhus. Hi, David. This is Mark Weedhus. Okay. Hello from Northern Rockies, Bosman, Montana. Thank you again for telling me the names of the states, because if you do that, then I haven't got to try and refer back to this chart that Carl made for me, but as a slacko, I haven't even brought it down here. Okay, Mark. Okay, Brian, computer guy, hello from Troy, Ohio. Andrew, coffee, yes, I will have some more coffee. Graham McAllister, morning, Dave. Trace Graham, and Harry the French Bulldog. Good morning. How is Harry? Constructive criticism. Brought one of your TSO highlighted products. It's on the way. I hope you're happy because price sucks. It's nothing to do with me. I don't make any money out of those. There's no kickback to me from TSO products. I got in touch with them. I said, I think your product is fantastic. I'd love to have a look at one. They sent me 2 over. I did a video on it. I gave one away as a gift. You know, I did a little competition. So I don't think that I like them, and I still keep on saying to people, if it saves you money and it covers the cost you pay for it, there you go. All right. Peter, good morning. Back up here. Back up, back up, back up. Wow. Bob, fire plant. It's serious when I pack up the Veritas planes. Yes. Tim Williams, g'day from Portland, Oregon. Yeah. Bob, if you don't know, Bob is in probably a worse fire spot than I am. He's way down the end of quite a large road, and to get out, there's going to be a lot of congestion, traffic everywhere, and if there's smoke everywhere, it's very hard to see, and you'll have accidents and roads blocked, and then, you know, just bottlenecks everywhere. So there's a large oval across from Bob's place, and that could be his saving grace. Tim Williams, good morning. Yes, I've said hello. Michael House, hi Dave, looking forward to the program. Launceston, Tasmania. Last week's 10 points for the fire safety tip, Dave. Everyone needs a fire plan. Exactly right. Chafer Tub, good evening from Lithuania. I don't know if we've had a Lithuanian here before. Good evening. How are you? And welcome. Light, look, great no flicker from Mark. Okay. Brent W, hello from across the ditch over in New Zealand. I'm guessing that is Peter Lisiak. Morning, Dave. Good morning, Peter. Lindsay Brown, top of the morning to you, Dave. Andrew Winter, are the LEDs bought in Australia? Where from? I bought these on eBay. They are AEG. They're German. And you know what? I might throw a link after the show's finished. So if you're watching this as a recorded show, have a look down in the description box. I'll put a link down there. I don't make any money from those things. There are the items down there that I do get a little bit of a kickback from. And why not? It helps to cover the cost of what I'm doing here. Now, you also know, while I'm on this subject, I've also become a Amazon trader, I guess you could call that, for Canada and the UK and Spain and France, and already with the States. Now the thing is, with the UK site and also the Canadian site, the thing, if I don't make sales of 3 items in 6 months, they shut the thing down. So if you're in the area and you want to be able to take advantage of what I can do and to help, buy a couple of things on one of those sites, and it will establish the site for me, locks me in, and then we can keep on referring. I don't know whether or not, if you purchase something on the US site, whether or not that counts to going into a Canadian sale. I don't know. I'm only a novice. Better say UK and Canada. UK and Canada. Help me out if you can. That'd be great. So again, Andrew, yes, I'll put a link in down the bottom for you for those LEDs, but they're just on eBay. Jim Carroll, g'day. Out of my sickbed finally. Oh, Jim, that's no good. It's bad to hear that you've not been well. I hope it's nothing too serious. Michael Sutton, g'day from Cronulla. Cronulla is one of the beaches at Sydney. And John Down, hi from Taree on the farm. Are you, John? How are you, buddy? John's got this farm with all of this timber on it, and he's just having a ball out there. He's set his workshop up, and, you know, heaven. Why not? So good on you, John. Josh Fields, Josh from California, USA. Peter Woolworth here from Northern California. Tigerlands, go Tigers. Hi, Dave. Peter Lisa, more tuna, Dave. More tuna, constructive criticism. Hi, Dave. TSO video was pretty good. All in good humor. Yeah, exactly. James, I can't get the Facebook links to work. The Facebook links to work. I'll have a think about that one, see what I can do for you. Right. Okay. I'll tell you why that may have happened. I suffered identity theft about 2 weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago, I was pretty flat on the show, and that's why some knucklehead had got in and stolen my identity, opened up bloody credit card accounts and phone accounts, and there was all sorts of things. I spent a full day in a police station filling out stat decks. Everything's sorted. Apparently there was a leak in one of the departments about Medicare cards. Now, be aware of that, people. It was nothing to do with what I do here or being slack. But having said that, I've shut a couple of things down. I still use Facebook. I closed my LinkedIn account down. I thought that was just giving way too much information. So what I've done on Facebook is in the mad rush, I closed all of the connections down as far as who can see it. Not public, it was just friends. So I might open that back up again. I think it'll be all right now. But it's a scary thing. Has anyone else had it happen to them? I've had money stolen off me as far as my credit cards are concerned. You know, I don't know how they get a hold of that, but you wake up in the morning and someone's spending money on my account in France. I've had it happen once or twice. But identity theft, this was the first time I've had that happen. Here we go. Okay, Pom857, hey Dave, was watching a video you did a bit ago on your shop lighting, and there wasn't any flicker in that video as well as now. Sue, that's correct. The reason being, Sue, the videos that I'm shooting at the moment are with my webcam. So what's happening is just a small webcam that I've got on a stick in front of me. The other cameras are much, much better, and they are all running on PAL 25 because they're designed for the Australian conditions. So that's why they're all fine. Anything I did with the phone was flickering, and with this was flickering as well. So I've sorted the settings out on that. I don't know about with the phone whether I'll be able to fix that or not. But anyway. Okay, David M. Good evening from Dave M. Wisconsin. So the world didn't end after all. No. No. Chris Nicholas, good evening from Florida. Marissa White. Barry. Yeah, Barry, as I've said to people before, Marissa, he's very old, and you know I'd like to just leave him there. I've got a video that I've done of him when he was having breakfast the other morning. I might throw that up on the channel during the week if you want to have a watch. He's having breakfast, and the magpies come down and watched him, and all the other birds. They all hang around him while he's having his breakfast because they know he's no threat to them. So they just stand there watching him, and As soon as he walks away, they all in and jump into his breakfast. Okay, Brian Computer Guy. Now, guys, I am going to get into a demonstration. I've got some very interesting demonstrations coming today. So I'll talk about the LED lights a little bit, and I'm also going to talk about the bench that I made. Now, I did call it the Stanton bench. What are your thoughts on me calling it Dave's bench? Just call it Dave's bench instead of the Stanton bench. This might sound a little bit pretentious. So I think I might do that. So I've got a couple of things, and also the ts55. Louis Uberg in Norway has asked a couple of questions. He's just bought a truckload of Festool stuff, and there's a couple of parts to it, and he wants to know what the difference is, and I'll take you through all that as well. I'll just finish this chat, and then I'll get into the lighting section. Order the Path Guide system. This is Brian Computer Guy this week. We'll be attempting to make your awesome worktop soon. Excellent. Peter, yep, not a good feeling. Matt, Warner, g'day from the high plains of New Mexico, USA. James West Productions. Oh my God, that's scary. It is scary. So, you know, be aware if you're in Australia and you think you're safe, your Medicare card, which is in Australia one of the major identification documents that you can keep, may have been leaked. There was something in Parliament about it about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it was not long after that. Jay Parry, you prefer the Stanton Super Bench. Okay, talking about super, if you want to do the super chat, by all means, jump in, click that dollar icon, throw up a couple of bucks. That'd be fun. For the Super Bench. I like it, the Stanton Super Bench. I'm kidding about the super chat. If you want to do it, that's fine. So it helps, but if you're more than welcome to come in and just watch and see what's happening. All right, now I'm going to have a chat about these things first. Now, all of my lights, when they were put in, I did all the wiring for them. The electrician came along and did the final connections for me. Now, at this time, because everything was sorted out, the connections were all done back through the system, all I had to do was, Dave's bench does sound good. I heard about the journalist who bought his own Medicare details to prove his story. Correct. Let me get into this again. Okay. These LED light fittings come with a small transformer. Now the transformer, you know what, I've got one up here. I'll grab one down, I'll show you. Grab my ladder. I've turned one of these lights off. One of the great things about this system is that I can turn any of these lights off very quickly and easily. I'll show you why. There we go. Now there's a light directly above my head here, and I turned it off. Oh, thank you very much, Dave Farrow. Thank you. That's much appreciated. Anyone else wants to top him? Go for it. All right. That's not top, as in kind of cut your throat. That'd be silly. All right. Now, this is an Australian plug. Now, it doesn't need an earth on it. That's an active and a neutral. It doesn't need an earth because it's a fully insulated situation, and it's a light fitting. There's no metal on the light fittings, it's all plastic. All right? Now, there's the transformer to take it down from 240 volts, which is what we are in Australia. I think it's down to 12 volts. And there is this simple plug on the end. Now, that goes into the LED has already got one of these plugs hanging out the other end. So as the male comes out the other end, just pop it on, lock it together. So I could isolate this light, which is right above me today, totally isolated, because I found as I leant back, my old forehead was starting to throw shine everywhere. If I turn the light on, you'll see what I mean. So for live shows, I was thinking it's pretty good. Leave it off. When I'm working on the bench, I just go, plug it back in. Away we go. So I've waffled on a little bit. These things here. Now, no one pays me to show you this. I'm just giving you this as a bit of point of interest. What I did, I'll open it up and you can have a look inside. And I'll tell you why I like it. It's two pieces. This is the mount plate that you screw to the wall or onto the side of the rafters. And this is the plug. So that's a standard Australian GPO. So GPO stands for General Power Outlet. and it says 10 amp, 250 volts. Well, good on them. Now, on the other side is a standard fitting that you would see in the back of a PowerPoint or a GPU, whatever you want to call it. Now, in there you'll see there's there's earth, neutral, active, and also a connection point for if I wanted to lock one wire away or use it as a doubling up to run off to another point. Now that's parts where it comes into really needing an electrician to do this. But it's very easy to follow. Inside here, in Australia, we've got red or, I'll just line up there, red or brown is active, green is earth, and blue or black is neutral. So that's a little electrical story for you. Now, I'm not telling you to go and do this. I'm just giving you some information behind the scenes as to what they stand for in Australia. Now, this thing here has got these little guys. Now, they are a snap fitting. So when I've got this mounted to the wall and the wires connected into there, you notice just here, I can see if I can put it that way, there's an opening on the side which allows your cable to run in behind there, and so when I push that on, it's not going to foul it. Now, I'm not going to do it right at the moment because if I push that on, I'm not going to get back off again. But it snaps on. It goes click into those two holes. And then those holes, you see there's a little screwdriver point just here. Now, to take it off, I put the screwdriver in there and turn it, and it snaps the fitting off. So that's how I can take this off, but I'd have to replace this. How cool is that? I'd never seen those fittings before. So now, instead of having all of these light fittings, cut the plug off the end of the fitting, like I've done it before. I've cut the plug off the end of the fitting, bared the wires back, and then put them on with connectors. But this way, it's just a matter of having these little PowerPoint fittings. I bought a pack of 10, it wasn't a lot of money. Screwed them onto the side of the rafters, pop them on, and away we go. And it's a huge difference. I will show you up here. So there's LEDs that I've got down that side and over there. Now they don't look too bad at all. Now these are going to also help me as far as filming is concerned because it's not one large bit of light coming down on top of me or behind me and the camera trying to adjust to that light. It's more even. So when I'm doing the videos, it should work better to illuminate me a little bit better. Not that you guys are going to be all that interested in seeing how handsome I am, but I say that tongue-in-cheek, but it'll let you see what I'm doing with much more clarity. So down the other end, I've got the fluorescents. Let me slide this around here. So you can see how they hang down. And they make a very bright light source in the way. So I'm going to tip this back down again. There's the demonstration already set up down there for the next section, which is going to be the ts55. I'll have a quick look on the chat here, and then we'll get back into it again. Okay, so, all right, so there was a little question about the live feed there. Entry required Stanton bench is easier to search for on the internet. Okay. All right, fair enough. Or, well, we might just leave it as Stanton bench. How's that sound? Okay, Peter, sorry to hear about the ID theft. That can be a tough deal. Oh, it's horrible. You know, it's just, you know what annoys me the most? Is that someone out there who isn't doing jack to support the community, to help, to give something back to society, earn their own money, pay tax, all that kind of stuff, is just getting a free ride and a bloody leech. So that's my thoughts. And an invasion of privacy as well. You know, I feel dirty. But you know what I mean. It's just, it sucks. I hate it. Peter. Hi guys, has everyone got live feed or is it just still photo of Dave live? Okay, Dave, you grew in height then. Yes, I did. Last week's Patrick closed the window and I reopened. Does to me every week. Constructive criticisms. You can get them without a transformer, which I prefer to do as transformers will fail in a few years. I would recommend the 240 volt, simple, and will see you out. My preference, of course. Mark Whitehouse. I'm sorry if you addressed this already, but I'd like to make Dave's bench. How about laying out the entire unit in one piece and then cutting out the sections apart from using the path guide system? You can do that. Of course you can. You could lay it all out and even use the path guide system because you're going to get a very accurate result with that. And I'm going to show you in a minute as to why it's always handy to get that way. You can do it. I've had one person said, right, they're going to cut the end off at 45 degrees and 45 the other way and swing it around for the skirt or the apron and then put a reinforcing block in there as well and be able to just lock it together. I like the fact that I can undo it and put it away and slide it under a table or under a bed or whatever, and it's out of the way and it goes into the back of my car easily. I don't have the big truck anymore. I've got the little tiny little 3-door hatch, and for that it's perfect. I love it. Patrick, okay. Oh, so it's running for you now, Patrick. Okay, entry required. Mark, that is what I was thinking last week. Doing the path guide and then cutting the bench with the skirt at 45-degree angles. There you go. So that's it. Last bits. Earth in Australia is yellow and green stripes. Our wiring code is colorblind friendly. Right. Same color as my screwdriver. Okay. Red and black used to be used in Europe. This is from constructive criticism, but they were changed to brown and blue because color blindness about 30 years ago or so. Can't remember. Now, I still have some cables that are red and black. Colin, blank ship, good day from Oregon. Carl, you may have to sweet talk Vicky into doing your makeup before he show your forehead is still shiny. But it's not as shiny as it was. If I turn that light on, man, oh man, it's unbelievable. A little bit of shine wouldn't hurt. Andrew, tuning in a bit late from Canada. G'day, Andrew. How are you? Watch the rest of the show as a recording if you wish. James, I saw your videos on your grandfather and stuff. They were amazing. My great-grandfather. Yep, that's my great-grandfather, and my great-great-grandfather's tools are all in Arthur's toolbox there. I love the stuff. Peter, listen, handsome, yeah. Ian McPetridge, hey Dave, just got to Hawaii on vacation from UK. It means I can watch you live during the day here. Love watching your videos. Thank you, Peter. I kind of like Dave's bench opposed to the Stanton bench. It sounds a little bit more friendly, you know, like it's, just going to go and grab Dave's bench. And your customer or whoever will be saying, where's Dave? Who's Dave? Could be a bit of fun. Peter, come on, guys. 75 watching, only 28 thumbs up. That'd be nice. Give me some... the Stanton Station, Jimmy Jones. Okay, I've got to get into the rest of the show here. What do we got? Well, before I get into the demonstrations, let's have a look at John Lewis. Now, remember last week I was talking about John Lewis, and he has been doing some stuff outside. So I'll get the video started, and as I say always, if it laps over and starts again, don't worry about it. I try and leave enough of the last still to see me out. There's not a lot to read. Here we go. Now, John is doing some outside stuff, and here we go. Hi, Dave. Well, with the concrete and tiles laid in phase 1 of my patio project, I joined the carpenter at his shop for phase 2, priming and painting the roof structure prior to assembly. He prepared all the lumber cuts and joints as I wielded the paint roller. Used some new tech water-based products which made life easier. Primer coat inhibits tannins surfacing, and then 2 coats of Flex in RAL 9016. Swiss Building Code dictates the dimensions for roof beams based on altitude at location, in my case approximately 900 metres above sea level, as well as distance from property boundaries, in this case 5 metres. The beams, or chevrons as they are called in French, are a full 4x6 front beam, 4 3/4 by 12.5, Top beam 9.5 by 5.5. The made-to-measure arched beams are 10 3/4 by 6.5. All these elements are laminated fir for strength and stability. The arched elements being made in huge presses are not cheap, but they make for a reduction in the overall amount of lumber and structural elements. Here's some pics taken during the painting progress. Hope you and your viewers will enjoy as this thing comes together. Phase 3 next week will be assembly on site. I have to rent a crane. Cheers and all the best as the spring comes on. John, how good is that? Excellent. So what do you think about that, guys? It's he's doing an amazing job over there. Okay. Peter, yeah, I don't want to sound polkish. No, exactly right. Although, you know, everyone knows straight away, you say the polk bench, they know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. James, I'm sorry I said grandfather, not great-grandfather and great-great. Not a problem, not a problem. Stuart Cotterill, Asheville, Northern Carolina, usually watch recorded great shows. Thank you. Steve McQuillan, sorry. I find making sawdust cuts down on the headshot. I've heard of man glitter. Is that the same thing? The sawdust? They are large pieces. What's the next thing? So we've got John out of the way there. And let's have a look at Steve Innes. Now Steve has been making this unbelievably beautiful table. And let's pop it on and we can have a look at it. Now he's made this out of recycled timber. Very old, and isn't he a talent? That's the table finished on casters, and he's done absolutely everything. And the part in the middle is actually a Lazy Susan. These are all Australian hardwoods. And you can see all the intricate work he's done in the joinery. And he's used West Systems to cover over sap sections. And there it is, waiting to go inside. And another picture. I think we've even got a little bit of video of Steve giving it a bit of a turn. Let's have a look. Oh, more detail after the wax has gone on. Now he's used a hard wax that shines obviously when it's first put on, and then it goes to a satin, as you can see there. Still in the house with some chairs around it and lovely carpet. What do you reckon? And this is one of the other creations that Steve's made. So he's made it to kind of blend in with it. Here we go. How nice is that? Spin the bottle, or pass the sauce, or the ketchup, or whatever you guys want to call it in the States. There you go. And that's my saying, bravo, Steve. You've done a magic job. There we go. Colin, Blankenship, beautiful beams. Peter Lysiak, man glitter. In our cases, yes, it counts. Alex Gara, a slow belated hi. Peter, table is just off the planet. Hasn't he done a magic job? Constructive criticism. Steve Saber must have taken an age. Really well done. He has done a magic job with it. Normally Steve's in here, but he might be busy having lunch at his new table. Entry required. I wanted to see the mechanics of the Lazy Susan. Well, you might have to ask him. Andrew Winter, amazing table. Terence Brown, awesome piece of work. Jim Coogan, beautiful work. It is beautiful work. Okay, well, we're moving through it quickly, guys. One to go. What do you reckon? We'll do the before we get there. Remember, last week I showed you Graham Ormisher making that toy car for his grandson. Here he is. He loves it. How good is that? That is. I keep on saying it's the giving. It's the giving, and it's so good. What's the next thing we've got here? All right. Okay. So I asked you to send some pictures in from where you're watching the show, and a while back, everyone was getting these nut checkers. You know, they check the thread and what type of pitch it is, all that kind of stuff. And so we've got John Lafferty down in Canberra, or that area, sent a picture up to me. Here he is. He's got the Trend Air Shield Pro on, and that's some kind of a transformer helmet that he's got on the top there, and the nut checker necklace around his neck. How cool is that? I love this stuff. There we go. Back to me again. That's lovely. And thanks for sending that in, John. So if you've got photos, send them in to me, davestantonfans@gmail.com. That'd be great. And I'll throw them up here so everyone can have a bit of a giggle. Beautiful work. Entry required. Great job, Steve. Show us under the hood of that lazy Susan. Andrew, good. All right, what's the next thing? I think that's it. John, Steve, there, Andrew. A little bit here from Louis Uberg. Now, Louis is in Norway, and he tells me, hi, Dave, I just got some new tools. The Festool and everything, MFT3, ts55, 1400 rows, clamps, measuring tapes, accessories, blah, blah, blah. And I got some new Festool stuff. Now I'll have to start saving up for a saw stop or the Harvey. The Harvey's actually available in Norway now. And he says, the other day, me and two of the other people working in my son's kindergarten went into the woods, 5 minutes walking from the kindergarten, and made a campfire place. Here we go, I'll throw it up. This is the campfire place that they've made over in Norway, and started a gapperhawk, a traditional Norwegian hut. So I've popped this over here. This is the hut. How good is it to take the kids out camping? They have a ball. All the dads, great. The daylight left us, so we'll have to finish another day. You can fit about 3 adults, 25 kids. Plan is walking there 3 to 5 times a week. Get out in the woods, have some fun. Why not? Right. That is about it. So we'll get into the demonstrations. I've gone through that light fitting. Oh, sorry, that PowerPoint fitting, which I think is such a good idea. We'll swing the camera around this way. And I'll head over there. Take a can of drink with me. It's starting to rain. Yesterday we had 34 degrees here. That was insane. I'll bring this over a little bit closer and you can see what I'm going to do. That should be okay. Can you see me in there? We'll tip it up just back a little further. That might be good. Yep. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to increase one of these holes. Now this is Peter's UJK path guide system. When I built the bench, you can see me all right there. When I built the bench, it's designed so that the apron mounts up underneath here, which turns all of these dog holes here into blind holes. Now ordinarily that doesn't worry me because you can't really get a clamp down in there and twist it. We've got this track that we glued in last week, and the glue is good, not as good as the polyurethane glue, but still very good. It's holding well. So I thought what I might do is I might put a few holes in here, retrofitting down through the system. Now to do that, I'm going to use the path guides. So there's a long path guide there. I'll get another one here. And we've got this guide for his 3mm drill bit. Now I want to create a 3mm hole down through the middle of this particular dog hole. Now why do I want to do that? Because the drill bit that Peter supplies is great. The only thing is that spur doesn't cut. It's only a pilot. So it's a good idea to drill the 3mm hole all the way down. I think you can probably see that against my hand. That's probably going to be the easiest way. And so I'm going to set it up so that it's going to work perfectly. Is that going to go in? Should do. Let's try that. Some of these holes are slightly, some of the dogs are slightly larger than the others I've noticed. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. There we go, that's perfect. That one's in. And this one, done. Yeah, so that dog, wherever it was just ever so slightly larger. I don't know why, on the outside. Not in the dog section. They're all the same size there. It's just this outside flange, which is just a touch. Right, now I can put this in there, which means now I can drill 3mm hole down through there. So give me a second, I'll grab the drill bit. Or drill, I should say. What's that? Entry required 3 a.m. Watching the stream is not a pretty sight for a picture. Oh, rubbish. Of course, it's going to be fine. Okay. Morning, Steve. How are you? I'm trying to read around the side here while I'm doing things. Drill bit. And glasses. Now again, the reason I'm drilling this hole is, whoop, see that? Reflexes, unbelievable. Is to give this drill, that point, a chance to get through. The guide is going to steer the whole thing. I'm going to move that. And on there and there. So I need to put one there and one there. And shall we use the little vacuum, the dust box as well? Why not? We've got some time. It's live. It's crazy. I'll get some fluid. And I'll do so. Oh, I get my new drill this week, hopefully. You know, I did that. Answer some questions, like a bit of a knowledge test for people that work in stores that sell Festool, which I do. We'll see how it goes. I'm pretty sure that I get the drill this week. Now, it's a TXS. For those people that don't know what a TXS is, this is a CXS. It's a little 10.8 volt drill. And the TXS is the same as that, except for it's got a T-shaped handle instead of the D-shaped handle. I love this little thing. This is so much fun. Do you ever get a buzz when you make something and it just works? Look at this. It's sliding in there, fall over, and then down to there. And then we put the lid back on. Other way around, David, because then the holes will line up. Oh, dear. I should really develop a quicker way of switching it on and off, as in putting the hose in and taking it out again. But I didn't realise I'd use it so much, this little box. I guess I don't need to put all of the screws in. Done. Now that is brilliant. That just holds the dust extractor just where I want it. I'm not going to put the stop on it this time. That's on there. That's there. That's perfect. I can bring that up to there. That's right. Peter's designed this to go on the Centratec chuck system, which it can. And the good thing about using the little drill, there's no weight from it. Now I'm going to turn the little dust extractor on. So it's going to make a little bit of noise. So give me a second here. I'm going to do a quick read. All right. I don't know what all that was about, but anyway, I'll turn the Dusty on. How good is that? In there, drill the hole. Nelly, how easy. Turn it off. That comes off. Come on. See the tolerances? It's great. Oh yeah, beautiful. Now, if I had taken my time, I would have stopped when I got near the bottom and turned the whole thing upside down to make a cleaner exit on the other side. As it is, it had a little bit of a tear, but that's okay. Now it allows me to put that dog in that way up. Now, why do I want to do that? Well, I'm about to tell you. That one there, that one there. My track can now go against those, and notice it's not over the bench. I don't want to cut into the bench. I'll show you in a second what's going to happen. Oh, the excitement of it all. Move things off. And let's say I want to cut a piece of melamine. I can now have this dog this way up instead of this way up. If it's this way up, on the ts55, you'll notice the body of the saw hangs out past the edge of the base plate. Now, when the dogs are this way up, this stuff here is actually thicker than that section on the side, the wider section on the half dog. So without all that waffling on, I can put that in there, put those up against there, put this on here, and have a look here. The dog is now below, can you see it? Below the surface, which means the saw can now travel past without hitting the dog. If the dog was up the other way, and I'll do that and I'll show you. See that? If the saw was actually down in the cut position, this comes out past there and it would hit it. Now, ordinarily, that's not going to be a worry if you put that in the next series of dog holes, but this bench isn't wide enough to put another one out there. I can muck around with that if I want to, and I can also run the track the other direction. Okay, so I could put dog holes here and have that. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So I can have that there, take that one out, they're such a good fit. And I can put that one there, and I can put this one, bring that to there, that's holding those. I can bring this forward, put that one in, do that, and have another dog here. So what I've done is I've stepped this dog back behind the line. Now, with the small dogs that Peter's got, the little guys, now we don't need to have Peter's dogs in there, I can use the Festool dogs. Let's see if I've got any of these now around. Where are they? There's a couple. Now, these guys are designed to be just lower than the thickness of the track. So I can put that there, and that there, bring that up against there, and then I can put this there. And they, see that? There's no need to panic about being shorter this way across there. But there are ways around things. If I do want to do shorter cuts, I can do it that way. Then I can turn these upside down. What do you think? Then I can do my cut along here with the track saw. And still, I'm not cutting into the bench. You don't need to cut into the bench. And here's something else I'm going to share with you. No one else has seen this, so this is a first for everyone. I also made a... Move my sugar out of the way, Peter. This bench is plywood, and it's 19 millimeters thick. 3/4 inch, you know, so close, 19.05 or something. I also made one out of MDF, which is 18 millimeters thick, 1 millimeter lower. Now, I waxed it on both sides like I did with this one. I keep it in the workshop. Here, now, I have a piece of MDF that I had sitting in the garage that didn't have any finish on it. And yesterday was 34 degrees and it's bent like a banana. Like it sucks out the moisture at different rates all over the place. So I'll throw this up here. And I shall show you what this silly Australian guy is doing. These things here. And you can get these on the Amazon links that I supply. Now there's another mob in the UK sell orange and black ones, because I was trying to find a link for the Rockler ones in the UK, but no good. So they've got those red ones. They've got a little kit that's exactly the same as the one that I was linking to. So if you're going to make one of these, and you're in the UK or Norway, because I think you can buy stuff on the UK site, the UK Amazon site for Norway. I think. I'm not 100% sure. There you go. That's all on. And I've got crap everywhere up there, but I don't need to worry. See that? Slightly lower. I don't know if you can see or not. Yep. Now, I've also got, I can move that out, because here's the rest of the trick to it. Let's put that there. Move those guys out of there. Move that one to there. This one to there. This one to there. Put this there. And then the track there. And now, very similar to what Steve's got. Steve's got two benches set up side by side, and he cuts in the gap between them. So now I can cut here, and the waste will fall off. Now with the standard MFT3 table, they have a support back here as well, because see at the moment, that can tip. And I came up with an idea. Let me see if I can find it. Move that out of the way, down there, and that one over there, and another hose, because I'm going to actually run the machine, do the cut. Okay, Dave, great invention of the suction unit. Perhaps you need to get a spare bit of hose and back connector for a permanent one, even a funnel style end. Construction, that's why wax as opposed to... Exactly right. I like the wax because nothing sticks to it. All I have to do is get out my random orbit sander with the Velize on it and heat it up, and it's brand new. I don't have to touch it. I've got an old table outside, and I'll probably do a video on it, that I waxed about a year ago, and it's starting to show signs because it's outside in the weather. I'm going to try just running over it and see if it comes up like brand new. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to move this over here. You can see what I'm doing. There we go. So down here, you can see I've got, this is the system with the, this has been polyurethane did, and it's not going anywhere. That's, you can see how much pressure I just had to put on that clamp to close it. That's pretty intense. So what I can do is I can bring this down to there. Actually, the easiest way is to put the saw on top. That's to weight. Push that up against the underside. I'm using the 6-inch clamp because it's going to go right in the centre. Oh, too much pressure. Let's back that off a little bit, David. Don't go to mud. There we go. That's got him. See that? Not going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere. I'm going to move the camera again, if I've got enough cable. Let's see what's happening here. I should have, and I'm hoping I don't lose anyone. There we go. You can see down the center there. I'll take this hose out, like Steve had suggested. Put the other one in. And put some that. I'm getting a little bit tangled up here with wires everywhere, but I think I'll be okay. All right, that one there, plug it in. This one also plug it cables. Now, Louis, I will get to the question you had regarding what speeds and what things are for. I'll actually do that, what the things are for at the moment. Now, Louis has just bought a new ts55. Pardon, itchy nose, give me a bit of a drink here. So, he's got this, and he wants to know what it's for. And he's also got, it goes on here, and it's also got a clear one. Now the clear one is also able to move up and down, and that's designed to help in the dust extraction. It comes down and rides on the top of there and lets you see, gives you vision. Now you'll notice here I've got a line there, right in that little slot, and that's where the blade finishes when I'm at full plunge. So I can watch. So I've got a mark on the timber there. I can come up to it if I'm doing a sink cutout or something like that. I've also put one at the back here because it didn't have one there, so I put a black mark there as well. Now this one is a splinter guard for the waste side. You'll see on the track it's got a splinter guard that goes under there. And the blade, when you first use the blade, or when you first use the saw, you marry the saw to the track and you cut off a piece. So as the blade is coming up out of the material, it's holding the top of the fibers of the timber or whatever you're cutting. And the story is that it stops or reduces the amount of tear out. So I shall slide this in to there. Now then I'll push it down. And then tighten that up. So its job is to protect the offcut, because maybe I've got a long sheet and I want to keep on using the piece that I've cut off, and rather than turn it around and cut it again, I've already got a nice clean point, and that's one of my sides, so I slide the sheet along, cut it again. All right, where are we up to? We've got the depth that I'm going through here. Mine's an older saw, so I have to add 16 and 5 millimeters. I think these guys are 5 millimeters thick. So I always go a couple of mil more than that. Now, because I'm cutting between the benches, I can do a full plunge. So if I was doing 16 and 5 is 21, so I would set this at around 24, would have been how I would have normally done it. But because I'm doing a full plunge, and that's because this is designed to work with a full plunge as well, I'm going to push that all the way down. There is nothing there. I shall put my earmuffs on. and hopefully it's all going to work. So there we go, got that, got that, got that. I'll move the drink so we don't get anything in there. Back behind me. Now this is going to make a little bit of noise. You may want to turn your sound down. Now. Alright, that's all behind there as well. Now, that is the underside of the cut. That is the top of the cut. Now it is ratty. And you know why it's ratty? It's because the last cut I did with this was with the HKC. And it was cutting in a little bit closer to there. So I need to move that and get another. See, it's a bad cut. I need to get another track. And I think this one has been cut. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Now, it may not look like it, but this is out further than this one. So I might use this track, see if we get a better result. Pull it forwards a little. Looks a bit better. Put the knobs on again. I also don't know what blade I've got in there. I don't think it's a melamine blade, but anyway, here we go. That's a lot better in comparison to what I just got. That was terrible. The underside, let's try it, not doing as deep a plunge, and see if that works any better for us. What did I say, around 20, 24. Should be fine. How well does this bench, see those grippers, or the cushion stuff? I love it. I can bring that along. I'll cut it so it just drops off. That's better. Now, do you want me to show you how to do the absolute best cut? I'll show you, but it's using the scribing method. So I'm going to set this at 6 millimeters. I'm going to do a quick check on the side. So I'm going to do a scribing cut. See that? This is when I want the absolute best cut. So that is my scribe. Now, I will set to full depth. Right? There you go. That's the advantage of a scribing cut. The other side, perfect. Maybe I shouldn't have gone full depth. on the other side. As I say, the blade has a whole lot to do with it. Not just grab that out of there for the live show. So it may not be the right blade in there, but anyway, not to worry. So there we go. That's what those two are for. Louis also asked me about the speeds. The speed settings. This is on 6 at the moment. On the side of your Capex, Louis, you bought the Capex. You'll see all the different speeds that are designed there for the different types of materials. So plastics, aluminium, steel, all that kind of stuff. The same kind of thing. It's got 6 different positions on there, 6 different positions on here. Whatever it says to do for the Capex, that's where you set your speed for with the track saw as well. That's easy. Alrighty, I think that's about it for today. See if I can get this camera back over here. That's about it. I'll have a bit of a quick look through the chat, grab my drink. Now that track as well may have also been used with the HK. But anyway, making excuses. It is what it is. It's a nice saw. And it does a very, very good job, really. Where are we up to? All right. Where are we? Carl, if you damage the wax, it's easier to repair. Yes, constructive fluids. Thanks, Carl. Yeah, I see that. David M. David, you could open up your own line of benches, tools, etc. Call them Stanton stuffed. Yeah. Michael, that does sound a little bit crazy. Dave, I have a trick for the bench to cookies. If you use electrician's shrink tape, shrink tube over the ends, which are 90, it brings it 20 millimeters and hence fit. All right. But if you like the idea of screws, Dave, you need an ts55. Alex, right there. Peter Woolworth. I wish Festool hadn't changed to Imperial here in the USA, or at least give the folks the option of metric. It's so easy with metric. It really is. You just put it to wherever you need and that's it. There's no really mucking around with fractions or anything like that. Also, you get a better cut if using melamine MDF, not chipboard. The MDF cut is usually perfect. Exactly right. Metric is N-A-I-N-A. I don't know what that is. Bob Macker, what a great show, Dave. Thank you. Thanks, Bob. And always just let the teeth protrude by about 5 millimeters. Yeah, Steve, the reason I go to full plunge is because then as you're coming up from the underside, I was getting perfect cuts on the underside. It was only the top. And I'm sure it's because they need to put new splinter guards on the stupid thing and possibly also put a melamine blade on. But they do say to try and go full plunge on the second cut. First cut, not a problem. Do 1 or 2 millimeters as the scribe, and it comes up very, very nice. If I was doing it without rushing, I would have slowed down, checked the blade, done all that kind of stuff, put new strips on, and away you go. Perfect cut. Carl, Dave, thanks. Thank you, Carl. To the end of the tungsten tip. Okay, I see where you're coming from. Chris, thanks very much. Andrew, great show, Dave. See you later. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. And remember, next week, 1 hour earlier for most people. I will run a video this afternoon, and it will tell you what the difference is. So again, thanks for watching. Be safe, look after yourselves, be nice to each other, and don't have your identity stolen. That's Dave's tip for the week. So thanks very much. I shall see you all later.